Be the best way. I think truly for somebody to get this stuff, they're going to have to be sick and tired and be looking for a way out. You know, like I was. When our second trip going to Texas, you know, I was ready for that way out, you know, because even when we came back, you know, because I had a bad pornography addiction, you know, and when we came back from camp, you know, I thought I was done with it. You know, because me and old Josh Miller, we sat down and talked it out. I felt like the world was lifted off my shoulders, you know, because I wasn't holding that in. You know, and in fact, I was laying it down, or so I thought. You know, but of course, church camp is good, but a really bad effect of it, a lot of kids come on with just the camp high. You know, it's all good maybe about a month or two, but then it just kind of wears off. Yeah. You know, it's back to the old sins of getting overthrown with it. Of course, me coming out of school, you know, I didn't really have that much temptation. I didn't have a job. I was pretty much home all the time. You know, but just then kind of little things started popping up, you know, and then I kind of fell back a little bit. And then, of course, the little things led me right back into it. You know, of course, I went the first time with Mom to Texas, but I didn't really soak in what they were telling me. You know, I just kind of, all right, I'm in Texas, but it's pretty cool, meeting new people, it's awesome, got new friends. I wasn't absorbing any of the teaching they were, I was just there just to be there. And just to get out, you know, how it's a plane ride, you know, all the first times, and this, that, and other. You know, but, and then as the months came on, when I fell back into it, you know, this time I was trying to break that. You know, I was saying, I'm tired of this crap, you know, it's done consumed me all this time, but the more harder and harder I tried, the more I fell deeper into it.
The more I did what I didn't want to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like Paul.
Yeah, and I sat there, and of course, like I said, when I was in, I didn't absorb any of what they're teaching, so I'm in bed, you know, I said my prayer, and Lord, please forgive me for this, I'm not going to do it no more, and I'm going to break this thing, but I kept on and on and on, and there would be nights I would cry myself to sleep. Be nights I would pray to God, you know, I was in fear, you know, that if I had a heart attack, you know, that I was going to die and go to hell, you know, because I watched the porn flick, you know. And then they got to that point where they say, I want a way out. Whatever it's teaching me, whatever I'm trying to apply, ain't nothing clicking, you know. And when we went to Texas the second time, this is where I said, but I'm gonna learn what they got coming. I'm gonna see what they have to say about this, what they got to do. And when I absorbed that gospel they were teaching, it was like you broke the chain for good. I knew for a fact what was going on. I could sit there and smile again. And to this day right now, I have been born free ever since. You know, this gospel can set anybody free if they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because I dang sure was. You know, I was tired of crying myself to sleep. I was tired of being afraid to pray to God. You know, I was just flat out miserable. You know, and of course I had college on top of that. You know, so if it was a time where I watched it before that day, I wake up, I didn't want to go to college. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm miserable wrecking, I'm tired. I would fall asleep till 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, because I'm tossing and turning all night with it. You know, so if somebody is sick and tired, this is where this gospel is going to come into. You know, people will get curious because they're searching for that way out. You know, and when that seed is planted, God's just going to take over right there. You know, this is how it's going to be. You know, you don't have to live like that. Now, Philippians 4:8. Now, finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. You know, anything that is of God, think about it, meditate on that. You know, the one thing I was learning, you know, when this gospel hit me, it was all God. I was enjoying what I was reading. You know, it's like somebody come in and just rewrote the Bible for me. You know, all of a sudden this verse, man, that's backing that up. And this verse backs this verse up, and it's just going to chain action. And I was enjoying it, you know, it's just hitting me, absorbing. And nothing but God was on my mind, you know, I just couldn't get enough of it, you know. And that's praiseworthy, especially when it comes to this gospel that we're learning.